Hello, good day. I'm Dr. Cool. In today's video, we are diving into the side of the story they never tell about mechanic. If you open up YouTube, you will see loads of video, loads of advice about how to run away from shitty mechanics, how to spot a bad mechanic, how mechanic rip customer off on daily basis. And this is not just happening in America or Europe, but every part of the world. But here is the part that nobody mentions. Customer ripping mechanic off. Because when we talk about this side and the table flips the other way.
It's bad. 14 customers duped out of over $9,000, but the owner of the auto repair shop behind me tells me he fixes thousands of cars and wants folks to pump the brakes before they pass judgment. John Roca is passionate. His auto repair shop serves, not steals from its customers.
I spend a lot of my time every day helping customers that can't afford car repairs.
But in a lawsuit announced today, the Attorney General of Missouri claims at least 14 people paid for work up front and never got it done. Those people you don't believe you owe any money?
No, I don't want to say that. I don't believe they're all false accusations. Necessarily false. Is the story wrong? Possibly. But you have to understand, if you have a problem, you need to come speak to me if that was bad.
Mary Finazzo and her mom tell me they did, to no avail.
Financially, it's just, all of this has just killed us. It's been too much for us.
They say they paid $1,100 for repairs, but nothing was actually repaired. Now they're left carless.
I can't get to my doctor's appointments half the time because I don't have a car that runs.
Yeah, it was beyond repair.
She says you owe her $1,100. What do you
Well, and she might feel that way.
Restitution and remorse. Either way, this case has been anything but a quick fix.
I'd like for him to have to pay the money back to her at least.
And shut him down.
Your confidence that your business is on the up and up.
I know it is, okay? But like I said, I make mistakes all the time.
Roca told me if he ever asked for money up front, it was to buy parts to get the work done. However, the Attorney General in Missouri, Chris Koster, wants to seek an order to shut him down from doing any business in the state and also wants him to pay those customers back. Reporting live in Kansas City, Scott McDonald, KMBC.
Here's a bigger picture. Mechanics are getting bad names for doing jobs that most dealership will bill you more than enough to fill their unborn generation. Let that sink in. But here is the catch, because most mechanics are independent. Take America and Europe out of the picture and you begin to see ironic part of this narrative that never made headlines or even YouTube, but get buried under footnotes. Here's where it gets ballistic. Step into Africa, it gets even crazy. Countless of mechanic locks up behind bar, some for right reason, some for mistake that harm the transmission or damage very pricey part of the entire automotive system, and that alone destroys livelihood. Now here is the crazy part. There is a current notion if he doesn't have a fancy shop, he's a quack mechanic. But here is a side of the story that most people don't speak out loud, because if you do, it cooks the narrative and flips the script, and suddenly the focus will shift from bad mechanics to bad customers. Let's look at how customer rip mechanic off if you don't get the memo. Let me bring the clarity to integrity. When a customer has a challenge in his or her car that most mechanic without near comprehensive understanding of how the entire automotive system work couldn't solve, and the customer finally finds a mechanic who is competent enough and have the right tools to get it done. This is where the ripping of mechanic chapter 1 engage in gear. If a mechanic solved the problem without wasting torrents of hours, days, weeks, or even months, the customer go, whoa, that was so fast and simple. But wait, you think that was a compliment? No, far from it. That is first class psychological reverse engineering with a surgical precision. And I'm going to explain to you. Used to rip mechanic off in huge scale, because what comes next will be ready to anchor the World War III. The customer will now choose to pay not what the job was, not what is due, but what amount he or she deemed fit, disregarding the critical elements that made that mechanic smarter and make other mechanic not to get it fixed and make this mechanic somewhere ahead. We are not talking about years of just experience, lots of troubles, challenges that sometimes never get paid, and the neglecting that during retirement there is no pension, no gratuity, no safety net. And here is the vicious stereotypes. Most African mechanics don't charge before fixing a car. I want you to listen to that again. They fix first, then payment comes after, at the customer's term. Imagine any professional doing that. Let's switch gears and dive into the third strategic step most customers use to rip mechanic off. They drive into your garage and instantly switch into commando tone. My car has this and that issue. I want to know what is responsible. Sounds innocent. No, this is not a normal question. This is a psychological conditioning, and it serves two purposes when the tone is commanding. One, free consultation at zero cost. Purpose two, a free precision diagnostics without paying a cent. Here's the reason. Why use these tactics? Because they have heard before reaching your garage that your charges are for premium customers, but they don't want to pay premium price. So the goal is manipulation, get the skill, the real kill shot diagnosis, identify the problem, then say, okay, thank you, I'll be back later, I'm running late, and vanish. Here's the darker part. The mechanic awaits, anticipating customers' return, but the customer uses that free information, finds someone cheaper, less experienced, and instruct him to do using your diagnostics capability. That is not shopping around. That is intellectual theft and fourth level manipulation. Now the next one is masterclass in social and psychological engineering. The customer drive into your garage appears to be in a hurry, push urgency, push pressure, panics. I've seen this a lot over 13 years fixing different car making model to get the job started before settling on how much you will charge. And once the work is done, the negotiation starts after the labor is already spent. That's the real scavenger. Now the last one, because at this very point here, you are the mercy of the customer. Now the last one is the infamous one which I often speak. The customers are scavengers. They value jobs, high quality parts. They want excellent and no mistake. But they have one problem. Not the cost of the spare part, but how much you take home. How do you spot them? Is one intelligent question. Simple. They immediately start asking how much each part cost. How much did this cost? What is the price of that? You think is for transparency. No, you are missing out on the bigger picture that often hurts. The goal here is to verify you didn't inflate the cost of the parts and your labor is that cheap. They believe that what should be pricey is the parts, and that is why they get outraged when they see that what you're taking home is sometimes like maybe 40%, when your service charge is like 50% or 300% of the total material and cost of the parts, because in their mind the parts should be the one expensive, not your labor. Your labor should be that cheap. Your skill, no, cheap. Your years of experience, cheap. Your diagnosis, cheap or nothing. Your sacrifice, cheap. And here is a final hammer. And they forgot one thing, that no matter how beautiful, how lovely, how quality the part is, they do not install themselves. Parts do not diagnose. Parts do not build themselves into system. There is always a man behind the part, a mind behind the repair, a lifetime behind the solution. And maybe that is the part this entire conversation has ignored. Sometimes the mechanic isn't the one doing the ripping off in reality. Sometimes the customer are, but very quick at pushing, accusing fingers and forgetting the other ones. So once you see that, you will never unsee it. And if you are not following me, if you're not subscribing to my channel, you're gonna be missing out on a huge more information about this, like this, and technologies which I'm sharing on my channel. So guys, and please, before subscribing, wait. If you're gonna be subscribing to become a seat fillers, fake subscribers, please hold it. I don't need it. All right, I already have a lot that I'm not interested in my content, so please do me that favor. You can just stand by. It's totally okay, no problem. Right, thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I'm gonna catch you guys on the next episode. Bye for now. I remain Dr. Cool. See you later.